Good morning, CUBE community, and welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here kicking off day 2 of our 3 days of live coverage at Google Cloud Next. My name's Savannah Peterson, bringing you all the fun and fascinating stories with Dave Vellante this week. Dave, I'm excited for day 2. How are you feeling?
I rode the Ferris wheel last night. So thanks to
Are you
Docker.
excited to tell me that?
Something
Yeah.
I never would have done on my own. Thank you, Docker.
And I went to an arcade thanks to Google, so at least we're having fun here.
All right, yeah. You ready for day 2?
I think we're going to have a great time with our next guest. Sankar Selvaraj, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. We really appreciate it. I'm really excited about this segment because we're talking about a brand story that everybody knows the brand name. I can see the logo on the outside of the store. You're from Dollar General.
Yes.
You all have a bunch of stores, 20,000 stores, 18,000 SKUs, if I'm recalling the data correctly here, and you're a $40 billion retailer. I think probably most people in this room have bought something at Dollar General. I can imagine there are a lot of challenges figuring out what to have on the shelf when and how to capitalize on seasonal moments and shopping moments throughout the year. Talk to me a little bit about how you go about approaching that challenge. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having us here. And I feel privileged to talk about Dollar General because like you said, it's a household name. 20,000 stores, 18,000 SKUs, and we are growing. Just to put that into perspective, we open 1,000 stores every year. That makes to
Wow.
That makes to 3 stores every day. Isn't it incredible?
Holy moly.
So with that said, I think you're right. The challenge is immense as well because we care for our customers. Our mission is to serve the community, serve our customers in their everyday life. And we are catering to their needs in the remote places, any place you call it in America. All states in America, we have presence. And that's how we serve them. So to cater to, I think, the need of the customer, the challenge is how do we bring the right item at the right price to the customer at the right place? And that process is actually simplified with an array of processes and systems that work together in tandem to make it all happen. Talk about replenishment, talk about forecasting, talk about inventory, talk about transportation, warehouse management. Everything has to work in a very simulated manner to make sure we get the right items in place for the customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an incredible logistical challenge, not to mention predicting trends and a lot of other things that go along with making sure you have those right products on the shelves. I'm curious, Sankar, when someone like Suman comes to you and says, hey, this is the scope and scale and diversity of stores and things that we already have, not to mention the velocity that you're growing at. I mean, 3 stores a day is seriously impressive, and I'll be thinking about that probably for the rest of the day. How do you go about breaking down those pieces and figuring out how to help him navigate the best solution?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here and partnering with our great partner, Dollar General, and they've really worked along with us to make sure that, as Suman mentioned, the product gets to the customer in the right time with the right price. And we are specialized in helping our customers in terms of bringing the forecasting capabilities, any other supply chain capabilities to be able to drive that vision. And when this engagement started, we all sat across the table to understand what is the client vision that they want to achieve. And we brought in the client leaders like Suman and their leadership, and the business leaders, and from Deloitte we had our own leadership, sat together to understand what the challenge is, what is the goal that we want to accomplish as a team, as you rightly mentioned. So we kind of put together a strategy, and we put together a commitment from not just Dollar General and also from our Deloitte leadership that, okay, in order for us to get this, these are the pieces that need to happen. So they committed across the table with the leadership and gave us the team and support and the budget that needed for us to be able to meet that on time. And we worked with them and the business to be able to break down what is going to start to do the understanding the business problem, drafting down the requirements, what are the best technology and the tools that they need to be able to drive their supply chain operations, having the right forecasting system, and most importantly working the business that will be able to train them on this new tool and the process chain that we're bringing in so that it gets to them, they can continue to use and see how it's shaping up their future in using this tool and the technology that we're going to bring in.
So Dollar General was founded in the late 1930s. So this isn't the first transition that you've ever gone through. Now, we don't have to go back to the,
Really bringing us
World
back,
War
Dave.
II, but that's, the company's been around for a long, long time. I think 20,000 stores? You
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
20,000 stores. So if we go back to the previous forecasting system, what was the climate like? What were the business drivers that led you to come to the conclusion that you needed a new system? What were the dynamics there?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. First of all, I must say the forecasting platform or system that we had for about 20 years, that served its purpose for what it was needed at that point. But as the customer demand changed, and you can see today, even a small child goes to a store, he's very particular about what color of the candy he or she needs. So I think that customer segment and the customer demand has changed drastically. And also I think with evolution of technology and with a new system, new tools that are available to us, we have a greater opportunity to make a difference for our customers by reducing understock or overstock, right? Situation, which actually helps through the supply chain by reducing or optimizing our inventory at the DC and the store levels. So, and capacity constant that we possibly can have, that is also minimized. So that's some of the things that went into making sure that we go that route. The other aspect also to think, Dave, is, what the approach we want to take there. Because if you consider forecasting, there's a lot of products off the shelf also, but we decided to work with Deloitte to ensure that we have a system which is something that we breathe, we do it based on our customer demand, based on our business needs, and I would call it a reflection of our business, and it is like it's a glass box. It's not a black box, right? So it makes us if tomorrow if things change, more variations to customer demand, we have the opportunity to change that. So I think some of these contributed to us choosing that route and going away from a shipment-based forecast which we had to a customer demand-based forecast which we are very proud to have now.
So the state of the art, if I go back 20 years, the state of the art was a data warehouse.
Yeah.
You had building cubes, you had a team of experts that you'd have to beg to build a cube for you or build it, and by the time you got the data, it was more useful than nothing, but it was, things can change. And then you also went through the big data era.
That's right.
Right, so I'm sure you had a lot of pressure to do big data, and Hadoop came in, and you probably enhanced the systems, et cetera. Of course, the internet was in full swing by then. It was post.com boom. So even during that 20-year period, there were a lot of technological changes, and you were using some pretty sophisticated machine learning at the time. So you had to add on to that 20-year system, which is always challenging. Okay, now you fast forward to this, the AI awakening era. So how did you address the architecture, the change management, the skill sets needed? Take us through that, and maybe Deloitte, added some value there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are very strong partners. So I think Deloitte has been with us through this journey. Mm-hmm. And of course, as we actually went from the era, we were doing what was needed at that time, right? So like to your point, given the era of AI, and now Gen AI, all the evolution is supposed to happen to make sure that we cater to the demand, a new demand. And so we did that, but we were very, I would say, methodical in the approach by ensuring that we go hand in glove with our business customers. So our business and IT department were like glued together to make sure that our goals and our milestones and our approach all verify to the needs of our customers and to our employees in some cases. So I think that's the narrative we went with, and of course Sankar can probably add any of the change management. I think as a group also we went through how to ensure that every model, ensuring that every version of the model is intact and any incremental changes is actually happening without really bringing in a lot of issues or defects, right? Anything you want to add?
No, absolutely, Suman, and spot on. Change management is very, very important in customers like Dollar General, right, they look for margin, more importantly, serving the customer. So the credo that Dollar General has is serving the customer, whether you're serving the customer or for me, I'm serving the customer for Dollar General. The first and foremost is change management. From the day one of the program when this started, commitment from the leadership, that yes, we are together in this, between Dollar General and Deloitte. If they give the commitment, people like us can jump on and drive that journey. And to great point, we can build GenAI, any kind of top-notch solutions on the cloud, on-prem, but very important thing is to bring along your customers together. Whether it's a partners like Suman in the IT or the business, or anyone could be at the store. So driving them along your program from the day one, and as you rightly mentioned, we meet them every day, not just to meet with our IT team, but also our business to keep them appraised on what's happening, what help that we needed, and that was a great success for us at both Deloitte and Dollar General, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're able to achieve with the new system, I think 85% forecasting accuracy. So okay, I got a question for you. I'm a customer of Deloitte because I live in the country, and that takes me 20 minutes just to go get gas there and back. And so when I go shopping, sometimes I choose to go to the closer, more convenient shopping, which happens to be in Clinton, Massachusetts. It's a blue collar town, and there's a Dollar General right there. So I'm wondering, am I in the 15% or 85%? And here's how I'll explain. I go into Dollar General not for a specific purpose. I go in to see what kind of deal I can get on anything. And if I see a good deal, I'll grab it, even if I don't need it, okay? It could be an extension cord, it could be Christmas light, it doesn't matter. I'm just poking around to see what kind of deal I can get. That's me. Am I in the 15% or am I in the 85%?
You are in the 85%.
Really?
Because I can tell you, again, I'm glad that you go to Dollar General because you probably would have heard that a Dollar General exists every 5 miles of a customer.
Okay.
That's our story, right?
Yeah.
So I think you're right. We have an incredible process of coupons and promotions. So that also to make sure that our customers get the best deal, like yourself, right? So
I got to get in on that. I'm paying top dollar at DJ.
Delighted by this personal story sitting here. I think it's great. I love that one of your vices is a good deal.
Oh yeah, kind of a sucker for a good deal.
Yeah. No, I think that's great, and I love that you're able to forecast that. So I'm curious, since you've made this big transition and I'm sure are constantly evolving and innovating together, have you been able to measure or even tangentially get that customer feedback that their experience has been enhanced?
Yeah, I mean, we have seen multiple ways. We have seen customer appreciating us more than, continue to appreciate us because we bring the right item at the right price. And at the same time, we've also been seeing inventory reduction, which also goes into profitability, right? So I think both the things are working in the right ways, right? And to your other question, yes, I think all the different signals that we have been getting from our customers, and also the other signals about demand, right? We take into consideration. So continuous evolution of those models make sure that we cater to that. That customer base and their needs on a daily basis, yeah.
Who are the hardest customers to predict? I'm sure you have a good idea.
I think every customer is important to us, right? I'm not going to be saying...
I'm more just curious, like who the data, since you're not in the 15%, I'm curious who the 15%...
right.
Who the 15% is.
Yeah, I think the 85% is the accuracy of ours, which is making sure that it's an item store, and it's probably one of the finest solutions because you won't find the story of 85% accuracy on a forecast every now and then, right?
So especially at your volume. It's not like you're serving one small town, the donuts they know and love.
20,000 stores, 18,000 SKUs, variations of demand, and you still get 85%. I think that tells the story of how good are we at this point with our forecast and how focused are we to meet our customers' demand.
Well, the timing is good when you think about things like whether it's pandemic, now we're going through all this tension around tariffs. It makes predicting and forecasting less predictable, but you're in the cloud now.
Yeah.
Obviously we're here at Google Next. What kind of signals do you get from the cloud from a data standpoint that maybe you didn't get previously?
Yeah. So I think there are two parts to the question, right? First of all, I'll clarify on the signals, right? We get a ton of signals. because you talk about, first of all, the customer demand, the sales, and we get a ton of historical sales to see behaviors and the trends. And we also see like pricing promotions, which you just mentioned. So those are the ones we do regularly for our customers. How does it impact the behaviors? We also look into other parameters, say, weather and other consideration into, we take those into account. And to your second question, Google Cloud, because I think the platform, we also ensured that how sustainable is going to be, how scalable is going to be. I think that's where we saw that we need to be sustainable by making sure we are not going hayway with our cost of computing and other things. So with Google Cloud, we got the necessary tools and the platform, let's call it the GCP, the Google BigQueries, or the Dataproc, which is ephemeral, or you talk about the Kubernetes GKE, or any of the security mechanism that goes into on the platform, that ensured that we are also elastic in our demand. So for example, if there is a up in the computation that we need, we scale up. And if you're not actually computing a lot, we just don't hold up to those computes, we bring it down. So that helps us to be sustainable on long run. And of course, these signals are very well integrated into the platform that I just shared. Yeah. And the part that I was just sharing before, that given that we are a glass box and we're evolving our models, tomorrow new signals comes. Let's say GenAI is changing a lot of things, it is now. So we get new signals, those signals can be integrated, and there you go. We are going to meet our customers' demand like never before, and we continue to do that, yeah.
So we believe it.
Yeah.
So just as you, 20 years ago, were adding new innovations, whether it was big data or machine learning, et cetera, the next 20 years, or 15 years, or 10 years, however long this system's going to last, changes in technology will occur. Everybody's talking about agentic. There'll be changes in supply chain, more intelligence infused into applications. How do you see the future? How do you plan for that? A lot of technology executives say, I don't worry about the technology. The technology is going to change. I worry about people, process, change management. But how do you think about incorporating some of these future technologies that we're seeing at places like Google Next?
Wow, yeah. I think there's a lot I'm seeing at Google Next, agents, right? I think agents are going to be ruling the world at some point, I guess. But I guess to your question, yes, I think the first foundation of the thought process was to make it in-house, custom to DG's need, right? That's the glass box that we have, these models. And these models are actually not one model, just to clarify. The way we have designed is a very decoupled, of course working with our Deloitte partners, a very decoupled set of models. And there's a variety of models, it's an ensemble of models, right? We have hierarchical models, time series models, all kind of models that actually combine in a weighted manner to showcase the value that we want to bring to our customers. And at the same time, I think, to your second question, right? Second part of the question, how agents, right, or the new GenAI is definitely evolving. I can tell you that now also I feel like, the customer behaviors are going to change. We're going to cater to their needs more often, and it's actually a good thing because with agents you also have more not only efficiency, seeing more new signals, but also if you consider the development work that goes into making new models, that's going to be faster and finer and more intelligent because agents are going to be making the boilerplate coding and all those things that developers go through today, lesser and more intelligence and thought leadership coming into those formulation of ideas.
Constantly evolving and constantly learning, just like y'all.
Absolutely.
I love it. The tech mimics the people in this case. I have two final questions for you. Do you have a favorite SKU of those 18,000?
Yeah, I have two kids, right, small ones. So usually when I go to Dollar General, they pick up the Frito-Lays. So, so I think the chips and everything that goes, I think I have, I'll be honest, I love the way we serve our customers. I think, of course, I have a lot of favorites in the store. I pick up paper towels, incredible price, definitely a lot of prices that we definitely make a mark for ourselves and our customers. So we're very proud of those things, and we of course give promotions. But I think, yeah, if you have to really ask me, I have a lot of SKUs that I love there. Yeah.
I'm not surprised to hear that. What about you?
My favorite. It's a great that you were asking. When during the project execution, I always tell Suman and our colleagues, from Dollar General, my favorite item is garlic bread. And you will be surprised that you don't get the shape and the type of garlic bread anywhere else but Dollar General.
I
I
gotta
know
check
exactly
that
where
out.
it's located in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I go and look for that item. If I don't find it, I have to call someone like, did we not forecast it well? Surprisingly, I'm
Oh
not
my gosh, I love
seriously,
that.
and I've been successful so far, and I'm looking forward to that continuity where we
You
are
are
accurately
the
reporting
garlic
that.
bread
Tip of the
secret
day.
shopper. Garlic bread secret shopper over here.
Oh.
And with
So
man with a
that's my
solution,
favorite.
no less. We're going to have
That's
to have
my
some garlic
favorite.
bread. I love garlic bread. That's a great call. What about you, Dave? Favorite SKU?
I think I told you, extension cords. I have so many extension cords, I go through them like crazy. I live in a big old farmhouse and I have a big need for extension cords.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I know what to get you for Christmas, Dave. I'm glad we had
I have.
this.
You should see how we light up the house in Christmas. You know.
Yeah,
so.
hey, I believe it's lit.
Then I drive over it with my snowblower. It's not good, so I
So-
head
so
to
you
Dollar
need to
General to
replace
get it
them.
replace
Wow.
them. Yeah.
Well, this has been a wonderfully delightful segment, quite honestly. More delightful than I
Glad to
expected.
hear that.
Final question for you, then I'll wrap this up. When we're hanging out at Google Cloud next year, what do you hope to be able to say then that you can't yet say today?
Well, I would say probably would be 95+% accurate.
Yeah.
wow.
Fantastic.
Get it.
That's-
Love
And
that.
serving
That's
our customer
fantastic.
even more. So
Yeah.
that would be my statement next year.
Perfect. Anything for you?
Absolutely, I add on to what someone has mentioned that if you're hitting that 95% accuracy, that means it's not happening by choice, but as rightly mentioned, the glass box. And as you just mentioned, that you can plug and play any new model if it's not hitting that boundary. And as you asked earlier, it is the item that we look at from seasonal perspective, fast moving, import and domestic. So all those aspects as different model to train on, and our customers, they continue to train these. It's very, very important to continue to train them and monitor them and make improvements so that it continue to provide the best business value for our customers. If that is not delivered, no customer is going to like it. So 95%, that means it's delivering all the business value that they expected out of.
I love that. 95%. You heard it here first, folks. Sankar and Suman, thank you so much for taking the time today. This has been fantastic, and now I'm craving garlic bread. And it is only 10 a.m., folks. It's going to be a wild ride. Dave, thank you as always for
You
the
bet, you
insights.
bet.
And thank all of you for tuning in to our 3 days of coverage here at Google Cloud Next, excuse me. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm headed to the dollar store. My name's Savannah Peterson. You're watching theCUBE, the leading source for enterprise tech news.